What's going on, YouTube Nation? This is your boy, Jesse James. It's been a minute since I posted. So the day is finally here. I'm starting a little early because I got off at work and I have no idea how long I'm gonna make this video, so we'll find out. Anyway, the book is out. We got hardback, paperback right now. Digital's on its way. And I'm gonna work on getting comic book and anime at a later date because I need to fly to Japan. That's gonna be a minute, but just know those 4 things are coming. I'm doing this today to promote the book. I'll be sharing 10 random ninja facts. If you knew, that's cool. If you didn't know, that's even cooler. I spent 14 years writing this book. I started writing it in 2006. And I've wrote, trashed it, rewrote, and sorry, let me tell you a little bit of history about the book. So this bad boy is I started writing this back in 2006 when my brother was in prison, and we were pen paling back and forth, and he was like, aren't you a writer? I was like, yeah, why? He goes, can you write me a book? The books in here suck. And I was like, yeah, man, I got you. And then literally the idea of him came to light. I just, went home and asked mom for a composition notebook, and I just went to town, created a character, tried submitting it once, then grateful that I didn't go through because the first copy was not good. The first revision was not good at all. But what was I going to say? I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah. So I started writing it around. I took it back up. After I was a teenager, because when I became a teenager, I didn't really care too much about my future or any of that jazz. I was too busy worried about video games, but I think 23, 24, might have been 25, I'm not sure, but it was in my early 20s. I had a real, self-talk with myself, and I was like, if you want to retire at 50, you gotta, balls to the wall and get that grindstone and, put that work in. It's not going to publish itself because you got to look for the contract and finish the book. And so I really put the pedal to the metal, got it out this year. I got scored a contract this year, January, I believe it was. Yeah, and so sorry. I'm not. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm fully awake. But anyway. Yeah, man, the book, it's been a lifelong dream. Like, I've been writing since I was in 3rd grade. I did my first book was called The Ring. It was an English assignment, but she won't let me have it because she said there was a horror movie named called The Ring, and she didn't want me to get hit with copyright infringements or whatever. Um, it was 6 pieces of paper stapled together, full fledged. It wasn't a full fledged story. I would say it was like I said, like 6 pages stapled together. So I guess it was a short story. I didn't know that they had multiple different levels. Novel, short story, full blown novel. That's really cool. I definitely learned some stuff along the way. Middle school, I found out that my that I could get paid for it. Because like I said, I've been writing since I was third grade, so I was just writing to write, just to pen to paper, explode worlds off. Jump in those worlds. But yeah, I don't know, yo. I don't know. I just found out that I could write. I mean, when my teacher said that I could get paid to write, I was like, all right, bet. And this is middle school, high school, I think. I really started getting serious, and that's when I started pen paling back and forth with my brother, and got this book idea, and because I didn't know what to write, and it just like came to me. Now, ever since then, I have books coming in. This is a series, by the way. I have I think it's I don't even know how long the series is, but I promise that I will not have you love a character and then kill him off like Walking Dead, or I will, you're gonna attach yourself to the character, and the character's gonna be, because there's multiple different characters. Multiple. You'll attach to them, and they'll be around for a little bit. You got for your, you got your villains. You got your people who love the villains. You have some pretty good villains in there. You have you like the bad boy, then who never listens to the rules or whatever. You got that's T-Rex. He's very anti-authority, especially when it comes to cops. He's a street racer. You have Star Power, which is the president's son. I think it is Johnny McCartney. That's his name. You got the Doctor, who's just weird and quirky and has superpowers. You have the main character, who is a super speed ninja who was Japanese born, and he is one of the few that was born into the royal family of, because there's 7. Oh, that's 1. There's 7. First fun fact about the ninjas is there was 7 ninja families that created ninjutsu. And the 2 main ones that were really talked about and kind of not forgotten in history, I know that's horrible to say, but I don't know how else to word it, was the Kogaryu province, which was lower Japan, and then you have Igarayu province, which was higher Japan, was like and I mean, you still had the clans, but like those were to the basically the big brothers of the ninjutsu family. And they had some arguments, and the 2 main brothers had some arguments, and they went their separate ways. One went to that's 2. One went to start another style called Bujinkan. And I'm going off the top of my head. I meant to prepare for this, but days events happened, and but it's so the second brother split and went to made Bujinkan, which is it's slightly different than ninjutsu, but it's still semi-ish the same. I'm not really familiar with the differences. I just know that the history behind it. Um, excuse me. Let's see. Where was I? I really should have wrote this down and scripted it. Um, oh yeah, let's go back to the book. And then so that's two. Two fun facts for you. Um, so he's royal blood, Japanese born. Thinks Americans are strange because of the stuff they eat, like pizza. He thinks pizza's nasty. His name is Kanbei Helamakari. Shino Cage is a myth, kind of like the Loch Ness monster, and he goes and he's as mythical, and pretty much everybody knows of him. Um, because of campfire stories and come inside or Shino Cage or Shino Kage will get you. And so it was more of a campfire story. And when they find out that he's real life, that they still like don't really believe it because they had the police and all the like FBI, CIA, M16, Interpol, everybody in the world that's in intelligence has been looking for him, and because he's done contract killing throughout the world, and he's as legendary as Dracula. You like in this world, there's no one that doesn't really know him, and like the people that really like mess with folklore and mythical beasts and stuff like that know him a little bit better, but everybody at least knows his name. And I'm going into this as a really cool way. Like he came to me and asked me to write his story because he said he found out that I was a great story writer, and he came to me from the shadows, and we talked, and he came to me and asked me to write his story. And so this is kind of, I'm going off that as like a play, I guess. And yeah. Oh, another fun fact, number 3. A Japanese family, even if you were Japanese born, you had to be of royal descent. Like your grandfather's grandfather, or your grandfather, or your father, somebody of the male side of your family had to be royal. You couldn't just join a ninja clan or the closest ninjutsu school because you would get rejected. You would, because when you get in there, you'd have to sign it. It's basically a blood pact where you're adopted in and your family, and there's codes and guidelines and stuff that things you say, things you don't say to keep the secrecy. Now it's not so much because the last living, I do apologize, sir, if I messed your name up, but it's Matake Susumi or something like that. I believe. Now I'm not trying to be disrespectful, so don't quote me on that. But he's the last living ninja, and he's writing books and telling the secrets and of the style of ninjutsu, in the way of the life, which is really cool because the only thing ninjas I had to go off of before I really studied and did documentaries was Naruto, and they're good, but they don't know everything about ninjas. No disrespect, but they're very good in the ninjas, but they're not like, they don't know everything. You know what I mean? and so I had to study, and I studied about a year, documentaries, books, anything that I could find that was historically correct, or that felt historically correct. Um, and just try to divulge and just crunch that knowledge and put as much of real life ninja facts and real life ninjas, just stuff and way of life in here. Um, and the ninjas were number 4. Did you know that you had to ninjas started as young as 6? Um, they might have started earlier, but from what I read, they start as early as 6, and they've become masters of over 27 skills um, by the age of 18. Number 5. One of them skills was horseback riding. Ninjas were adapted the samurai. The samurai was the suppressor. They were the government that was suppressing the ninjas. Number 6. Ninjas were farmers in the beginning. They used farming tools. Shurikens and katanas and stuff like that didn't really come into play until they became bona fide, I guess. Not so much as a self-defense against the samurais, but I don't want to say a cult, but like an organized group. When they became that, that's when I believe when the katanas came in, and when the shurikens came in. But in the beginning, they were just farmers trying to defend their land over overzealous samurai, because they were ruled by samurai, and sometimes they weren't treated properly, and they were tired of it. So they would stage coups and sabotage samurai's equipment, like the horse and buggy, the wheels. They would mess that up, or they would, as the ninja grew in intelligence and skills, their skill set became stronger. Their services to offer became more efficient than just killing. It would be sabotage. It would be espionage, going undercover. It would be forgery. Number 7. Did you know that ninjas could be women also? It wasn't as frequent, but they did have women, because women pose different skill sets. Women ninjas pose different skill sets of men shinobi. They had seduction. They could infiltrate compounds a little bit easier as being a maid, or being a servant, or a cook, or the princess's dresser. They could infiltrate a little bit easier because they were women, and nobody at that time expected women to be ninjas. And they would have, sticks that they could, have in their teeth and spit, and the sticks would be poisoned at the end, and it would go into the vital point or a pressure point in the neck, instant death. They were skilled differently. I think they weren't as armored they would wear clothing like just your regular, whatever was the acceptable thing in Japan as far as the how the women were allowed to dress in the royal palace. So it was a very limited space of where they could hide weaponry. So usually it'd be a hair stick that would be poisoned at the end, or they would have fake teeth that would have poison. They could have laced poison on their fingertips. That way, when they scratch it gets in the system, and the cobra venom or whatever will instantly go to work in 3 to 30 minutes. They had to get creative. It was very cool. That was definitely one of my favorite parts of watching the ninjutsu documentaries and stuff like that. I said a lot of information for 21 minutes. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to read you a little bit of it. It's on Amazon, plus it's on facebook.com/SNK book series. That you can buy directly from me. Just email me and let me know what you want, hard copy, soft copy, and I will send it to you at a discounted price as than what the cover title says. So hard titles are $43. I don't know why. $42.95. I don't know what is up with everybody in this world and their odd numbers. Like, I don't know, but it's $43 on Amazon. But if you get it directly from me, it's only $20. Paperback is $30, I think. Yes, paperback is $30. Same cover design. Same thing. $10. Plus, I'll sign it for you. All right. Yeah. It's so weird. I got like so much knowledge to tell you guys, and it's like it seems like I'm nervous, but I'm not nervous because I'm just like I'm more excited, and I don't know where that's why I'm bouncing all over the place because I got so much knowledge because it did take me even take out the teenage years where I didn't work on it and I put it to the side and I just did video games. There's still 5 years in this book, 5 to 6 years in this book. This has not been written over a year or whatever, or a week or a month. There's so much knowledge I want to tell you guys about this bad boy. That's why I keep jumping everywhere, and I apologize if it sounds like I'm nervous. I'm not nervous. I'm just very excited to share this with you. Because I personally know if you give it a chance, you're gonna love it because it's got street racing, it's got ninja fights, it's got corrupt senseis, it's got freaking ninja clans versus ninja clans, it's got superheroes, supervillains, it's not just your average, the protagonist goes and punches the villain, yay, he saves the day. It's it's more in depth than that. There's 3 climaxes, there might be more. And you get thrown in as I don't know if I want to read you the first page because I don't know, but I really like how I did a tactic of how you read the beginning and then I finish the ending of the first chapter and I loop it back to the beginning. It's a skill set that I learned from watching other writers talk about their book and from reading best-selling authors. So that's the only books I read is bestsellers to help me master my own craft. And I do want to become one of the top 10, possibly take Stephen King's spot um, but I definitely have a nick for it, and I think you guys, this is original, never been done before. Like when I first wrote the book. Oh, hey, there's 8. Yeah, 8. Um, I think we did 7. If I didn't, I'm sorry. 8 or 7. Um, damn it. Oh yeah, back in '06, I when I typed in Google, because the original title was The Black Ninja. Um, the Legend of the Black Ninja, the myth, the legend, the prophecy. That was the original title. Um, I looked online. I looked through the library system. And the best thing is there was nobody. Like 2006, you look on the search engine, you type in that, there was no search results that came up, no pictures, nothing. That's how original this is. Like, it has never been done before. Now, I'm sure there's probably copycats now. That's fine. Just know that I'm the original. Yeah. All right. So what's that? That's 8. All right. So we got 2 more. All right. Oh, okay. So I'll read you the excerpt. This is the back of the book. I'll get some water first. Hang on. Yes, I am doing it in my car. I do apologize for that, but I figured, why not? It's a good place to prop my phone up. I'm getting character. A young man who was born in feudal Japan, Kogaryu province, begins learning ninjutsu and the art of the dragon. When a village raided by the Black Dragon, who are Igarayu province, secretly disguised as Americans, happens, the young man's life becomes changed forever. As both his parents are taken from him on that dreadful night, he moves to America after his training is finished to find the group who murdered his family, only to discover an old enemy whose name had long been forgotten. Also thrown in the mix, he learns his sensei and grandmaster is still alive, but plotting to destroy the whole world by unleashing an ancient evil. Should he continue his personal vendetta to destroy every member of the Black Dragon, or try and stop the very one that trained him from ending all life as we know it? All right. So Kanbei's he's about 40-ish. So he was born with autism, like myself. And he was before he was, birthed from his mother, the emperor Raiden Lee, he injected him with a experimental drug to because there was everything about his birth and everything about the mother and the family that was to foretold a prophecy that would end the American versus Japanese war. I think that's what it was. Yeah. And so he was injected with it, and then the baby was injected with it, and then when he was born, as he was growing up, the emperor watched him to see if this, for lack of a better word, super soldier serum, that gave him that was supposed to give him hyper intelligence. But as he grew older, the autism started to fade, and instead of hyper intelligence, he was given super speed. And at his birth, all Social Security, anything that would link you as a human being, was destroyed. So like there was no family photos with him in it. Nothing. Like only people knew of his existence as the people that was in the village, in the Kokoryu village. So the emperor Raiden Lee lived closer. His palace was closer to Kogaryu province. And when he got born, when Kanbei got born, Kanbei Hellemakri got born, supplies and food and money kind of shortened. It didn't get cut off, but it got shortened to Igarayu because he was closer to Kogaryu, and he started to favor Kogaryu, even though an emperor is not supposed to pick regions. He started to favor Kogaryu and his ninja school, which was the Nameless Shadows. And he started watching him, and he got enrolled in the ninja school at like 8. I think he got in late. I think it was 8. I think so. So instead of, yeah, I already said that. Sorry. I promise the second book will be smoother. Lost my train of thought again. Oh yeah. So his mother's name is Shia Hellemakri, and his father's name is Haruto Hellemakri, and he's Kanbei Hellemakri. The super speed has also allowed him to his insides and his skin to not age. He doesn't age. So he's been 40 years old for a minute. But his body feels like it's like 18 because of the ninja training and the dragon belt training, the art of the dragon.